Greetings, geeks and nerds, and ladies universe and white nerdy, and I'm very excited today because I actually bought this brand new My Hero Academia t-shirt, and I'm actually excited to be actually and for once going back and actually talking about this series since I haven't done so in a while, and to which I'm finally very excited to actually do so. So let's jump into what? We're not? We're not reviewing My Hero Academia? We're, we're not? But there's been a schedule change. Who in the right mind would absolutely make a schedule change just before October begins? Who in the right mind would be an absolute insane person to make a schedule change at last minute? What the hell? You mean that you make house calls now? You used to be so cool, man. By the way, the sweater looks kind of familiar. Anyways, so yes, I did pick this up. I didn't pay anything for this. It was in a box of 3 movies. And I actually was picking it up to actually review the original Exorcist on here. But it wasn't included. Maybe the people that were trying to get rid of it kept it. And, I already did review the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Maybe next year I'll review Friday the 13th and the original Stephen King miniseries that the Nostalgia Critic reviewed. And that I absolutely love. I watch that review every October, and I can't help but laugh my ass off. So, but I'm not trying to talk about them. I'm talking about a very bad horror movie that's on here, or horror movie on here, which is known as Hidden, which is a movie that has a great setup, but a very, very, very disappointing payoff. So, this is my review and retrospective of Hidden. I'm just letting you people know this right now. This is my review and retrospective of the movie Hidden, and if you haven't seen Hidden yet, just be forewarned that there might be some spoilers in this review for you. Within the world of Hidden, there was a small group of survivors. A mom, her daughter, and their father, who happened to be living within the school's basement in safety. But up above the world below lies monsters up there, which are only known as breathers, which are hunting them down, and as soon as they find them, they will get them. To be fair, the plot of Hidden sounds really impressive at first. It's sort of something unique and something that would have been copied later on in one of my favorite horror movies ever, which I don't have to review, but I want to at some point, The Quiet Place, which is a film about a group of people that are hiding from monsters that lurk around above. But compared to the monsters in The Quiet Place, where you have to be intensely quiet, so the quiet is unnerving, and every little noise sounds scary to the point where it's just about the characters hiding, truthfully. Now, A Quiet Place did this idea a lot better, in which I thought was an interesting concept, using the unnerving suspense of quiet. Have you ever sat in a room that was just nothing but quietness and just felt unnerved? That's the point of The Quiet Place, like something could be hunting you down. But in Hidden, they have these monsters set up that are called breathers, but it has a very disappointing payoff. I will mention this about Hidden, though, is that it has a very good written cast of characters within the mom, dad, the little girl, and the little girl doll. Yes, the little girl creepy doll is actually a character in this movie because of reasons. But you actually fall in love with these characters, and to be honest, they're actually really good written characters within Hidden. They act and feel just as your actual family would, and that all in all is for the better, because you actually feel what the characters are feeling if you have a family. But just the stress of being underground for so long is actually getting to them, to the point where they actually make up places and actually invent little games to keep everybody interested about the outside world. But because they've been hidden underground for so long, they have no idea what's at the top of the other world, and that's just the thought that terrifies them, that anything and everything could be up there waiting for them. That's where the psychological aspect for hidden really does come into play. Because if you think about it, if you've been hidden in a place for who knows how long, a couple years, 10 years, a couple months, you would go stir crazy and you would be afraid of just about anything. And to which it's a great thing about how these characters are written, because after a while, they eventually come to be like, hey, you know something? We are actually afraid of everything. And at first, the idea of the breather sounds horrifying. And the great thing about the movie at first, which again go to the very, very, very very disappointing payoff, is that their characters are so well written in this. And they just do a tremendous job. Every actor, including the little girl who you would think would be annoying, she actually isn't. She's just a giant ball of energy and light that just is carried, through this film, and it's just wonderful. Especially the doll, yes, as she basically is a doll, but they treat her like she's an actual living being because, well, that's where their mental state is at the moment. But we have to talk about what actually happened, who the breathers are, and the disappointing payoff. Oh, this is gonna hurt. So in this movie, you begin to really adapt to the family, but even you yourself, the viewer at home, is going, wait, so what actually did happen? How did this come to be? Well, the movie actually explains this, but like I said, they don't explain it until toward the end. So, how in the world did the world get to be the fucking apocalypse? Well, the movie had the audacity to explain that to us. Years ago, the family was attempting to escape when a virus had begun to outbreak, but nobody knew exactly what the virus was and when exactly that this virus would go airborne. Suddenly, the military hatches their quarantine plan, and the quarantine plan that they decided to use is to attack the town where these people had been living. Seriously.
They just told everyone to go back to the town. Interesting reaction. But what does it mean?
You gotta love the military in freaking TV shows, movies, and even video games that they're idiots that just basically overblow everything. And it's like the military does have to take orders, you know. They just can't go in and basically be like, well, we are going to do what we want because we're the military and we just say fuck you to everybody else above you. I am not trying to offend any and all military personnel that might be watching this or anyone family members that are in the military. I'm just saying that the movie really doesn't need to treat the military like they're idiots because they're not. I even have friends and family members that served in the military, so they are not idiots. But they have to follow certain protocols. And apparently, the quarantine protocol for hitting is to nuke and throw missiles at the entire town. Sure, why not? So, unfortunately, this means that the family does run away in flee and terror, to which ends them in their current predicament and situation. Which, yes, because of what the military is doing, the family decides to hide themselves within the school bunker, actually breaking into it, and then going inside and being abandoned there for years. Which, if we find out, the family is actually infected by whatever disease it is. As it has become airborne, they do not trust themselves to be outside and to be around other people. Now, you might be thinking that this kind of sounds familiar into basically I Am Omega or I Am Legend. Yes, it sounds very familiar to I Am Legend. Except, you know something, compared to, this movie compared to the original I Am Legend movies, especially the one with Vincent Price or the one with Will Smith, they don't suck at all. So, they actually end up being infected with this virus. Now, you might be thinking that is a concept that sounds terrifying within itself. Basically, it might remind people of the game The Last of Us. Sure, even I can kind of draw a conclusion from that. Except the opening of that game still makes me cry and sob my eyes out every single time I watch it. But that's not what we're here to do. So, the virus that the family has been infected with, we are not explained what it does. But from what we can understand, they're afraid of these breathers. So, you already probably called it at home, most of you. But does anyone want to determine just what exactly that the breathers are in this movie? Do you think that we've played the home game, and I'll give you a few minutes. Do you think that it's a actual monstrous being, B, a person that goes down and hunts the infected, C, the military, or D, something stupid and far more ridiculous than all the above? And the correct answer behind this is
Walk away, answer my questions. I'll do what I can to help you and your daughter. Do you understand?
Yes.
That shelter we found you in. How long have you been there?
congratulations to all of you who guessed the military. Yes, the breathers are military men actually wearing a face covering or gas mask procedure. So, yes, the military are the breathers. You can guess how let down I was when they were like, hey, these breathers that could be monstrous beings? They're the military. Stop laughing. It's a good payoff for a movie. No, it's not. It's a very weak and pathetic payoff for this movie. I was actually expecting a monstrous being that is called a breather. But that's not what we got here. Because you know how in The Last of Us you hear about these thing called clickers, and then when you actually see them, they're the most goddamn horrifying things in the world? Yeah. Just remember that. Or remember as in The Quiet Place you always heard about the monster, and then when you actually saw the damn thing, you knew just how terrifying that they were? Yeah. Remember those good movies and other concepts of monsters that had very good payoffs compared to this movie. So, there is a message of this movie. There is. Surprisingly enough, they decided that this movie needed to have a message. Okay, so, what do you think that this virus actually does? Make your own suggestions. I'm not gonna play a home game. Make your own suggestions. What do you think? It kills them, turns them into monstrous beings, gives them some sort of deadly, I don't know, out of worldly like disease or something? What if I told you that it's basically the T virus from Resident fucking Evil?
Fuck, are you out of your damn mind?
I have no words for that. The payoff of everything ruined the movie. It's just everything was gone completely when that reveal happened. Just everything was completely destroyed. You had my attention, movie, and then you completely lost it. So, is it one of the worst films that I have seen? Kind of. The thing is that the first half of the movie is actually really damn good. The characters are well written, it's well directed, and the idea of the breather being a monster that you don't see for a while is kind of good. But then that payoff just becomes a great big thud right in the middle of the four. It's like the movie was going forward, and then somehow it lost oxygen and just fainted onto the floor with somebody else having to pick up the slack. Not very good. The actually also come to reveal that the people that have the virus all live in an underground organization, which thank fucking God that this movie did not get a sequel, because I would not be a person that would want to be alive to see this movie get a sequel. Therefore, my Funko Pop rating of Hidden is a little bit of a miss here. It's kind of is a decent film. It almost does hold up on its own. It feels, something nostalgic in a sense. Well, nostalgic that to nowadays where you can have The Last of Us and other games that might follow the property. And in fact, you could make a movie just like this again, maybe not call it Hidden, or you could, and actually have a monster called a breather that's lurking out there, hunting down people with this virus, but have a good payoff into why it's hunting down the people with the virus. And maybe it feeds off of the virus in their bloodstream to actually live. But unfortunately not. So my Funko Pop rating that I'm gonna have to give Hidden here, I unfortunately have to give it a Nightcrawler. It does have a strong presence. It does look exciting and new to the people, but unfortunately, just like my favorite blue teleporter, the plot teleports around very quickly towards the end of the movie. It looks great, it looks amazing, but then that payoff just goes bam, 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 and it keeps you teleporting all over the place. So my Funko Pop rating of Hidden is going to get a Nightcrawler. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with the link in the description down below. And let me know what you think about Hidden. Do you think that I'm right? Do you think that I'm wrong? Do you think that it's a cult classic movie that seems to be hidden, pun intended? Or do you think that this movie should stay hidden and not appreciated by anyone? Let me know. I did actually have to say that I did like it again during the first half, but then during the ending, it's like, like first half, yes, second half, and then that ending just nope, nope. The final review of everything was like nope. The hidden message was that humanity will always be somewhat a monster when things go to shit, and it's like they're not wrong, and it's kind of a smart idea, but the payoff just didn't make it worth it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I believe Universe. I want new to keep you getting on, and you know, I think I wonder why I've actually reviewed a horror movie. Wait, October's coming up. So you know what time that this means. It means it's time for Lazy Ween. Lazy Ween. Lazy Ween. It's showtime.